How's that level looking for you? Is that coming through okay? That level?
Coming through okay. You want to hit some
and this level? Tease, puh, puss, tussle. Okay, great.
A little puss tussle test.
Okay, why don't you give me a 3, 2, 1? Like a director might.
Right, ready, and 3, 2.
Hello, and welcome to Asheville 8 Note, the usually weekly live stream. This one's pre-recorded. That I have a different Asheville musician guest on to chat and jam with me on every week. Not going to try that again. That's the nature of this super casual show that I run. My name is Sam Irvin. We're here in Asheville, North Carolina, in Irvin Music Studio, where I teach private lessons, rehearse and practice for the event entertainment that I offer, and do some recording and creative projects of my own. And this broadcast falls into that third category. I do it to carve out some time in my life to just talk about music and jam for fun and to build community, whether it's meeting new people, like I did last week, although this is airing out of order, so I don't know who you would have seen last week. Nope, that was also an old friend, like today's guest, Zack Downes. You know him from dinoBirds, the improv duo that we rock together. We've got like 4 EPs out there, I think, on Bandcamp and YouTube. So check those out. dinoBirds. It's like a little D with a big B. I don't think that'll affect the search results, but it's pretty cool. It's sort of like decibels, you know, how that has a little D and a big B. Decibels, those are a measurement of volume, in the physics of sound. Real useful, for music broadcasts and live music performance. Zach's writing something. I'm not sure what. Maybe he's taking notes on my performance, counting the amount of ums. Oh no, that's probably what he's doing. Yeah. Anyways, let's see. dinoBirds is great. The spelling of dinoBirds being important. I'm getting back on track now. Asheville 8 Note is the show that you're watching or listening to. It's available as a podcast now. Please watch on YouTube. I think that's got the best quality, and I'm trying to get those subscribers, so hit that button. And I'm going to start a Patreon at some point, so if you're checking this out in the future, look for Irvin Music Studios Patreon and get a membership going there, because I'm sure I'm offering, I don't know, personal lessons, video calls, tutorials on all my gear. I don't know, extra bonus episodes for patrons or whatnot. Did I talk about all 3 reasons that I do the show? I think so. For fun, for community, and for using the studio. Some flexing the audio visual chops. So hopefully you can hear me right now. Well, this one's pre-recorded, so we already checked that you can hear me. But yeah, just like practicing guitar, got to practice all the knobs and switches and cables and putting everything together, and my hosting duties and my hairdo, stretching, dance. I should dance more. Okay. I can't understand Zach's charades, so let's just have him on so he can tell me in person what he's thinking and what notes he was taking. So without further ado, Zack Downes. Woo! There is background music playing eventually. Put this in post. Welcome.
Thank you. That wasn't applause. People were screaming in terror.
Oh, this is not notes.
No, it's a
fun picture.
Little surfer person with.
Is it a mouse?
With 8 notes. It's like some sort of wild ground-based rodent humaniform person.
Okay, great.
So there you go.
Maybe you could stick it to the black bar up there. It'll probably stay longer. No, that'll be good. That'll stay for at least. Okay. I'm not trying to judge your spot. Now, Zach, music. It's sound organized in time.
My understanding of it, yes.
Care to add to that?
Necessarily need to adhere to a given melodic structure or
rhythmic structure, or harmonic structure.
That's the type of music that I don't care for.
The music that doesn't adhere to those three things?
Yeah, it's useless to me.
Cajun. Cagey. It makes you cagey?
It's, any Cajun, John Cage, Nicolas Cage, music that makes you want to be in a cage or feel like you are in a cage suffering. That's not really my style. I know there are people out there who are masochistic. That's totally their thing. I'm not trying to kink shame, but
so you're saying that whole genre of music that tries to eschew conventions around melody and harmony and rhythm, those composers are really just trying to put their audience in pain, see how much pain
I can't
their
think of
audience
any
is.
other practical reason why anybody would make music like that. And that's interesting that you said eschew. I've never heard the ch in that word hit so hard. I always thought it was eschew.
I believe eschew means that you're, sort of in spite of, sort of detracting
Was
from.
that not the word that you were?
No, I meant sort of off kilter.
Oh, they are.
They're askew.
They are. You were using it. Okay.
I was using it incorrectly.
You're using the adjective as a verb. You're verbizing that.
Like
that
view
adjective.
askew, like Silent J and Talkie Bob.
Yeah, but that is an adjective being used as an adjective. It's a view askew.
Like a sky blue.
That's a nice rhyme, and you could use that in conventional music that I would listen to.
Yeah, tell me, so when you're organizing sounds, say, let's back up. Like at first you're struck with inspiration.
I'm hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the head, noggin.
And there's nothing I can do but just get it out there. Get the muse juice squeezed out of my body into the form of an audible context.
That's why they call it music.
That's a big right there. But I didn't hit the at the end of it. So it's,
yes, one guest said, offered the advice that anytime you feel like saying, you should instead say om, because it's much more peaceful.
Sure. That would be jarring. At least I'm like, there's that again. But
yeah,
totally
it really helps when
predictable,
we point it
especially when
out.
I'm listening to Sam. But an om,
Yikes.
man, yeah, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, I haven't found the right intern yet to pay to wipe out all the ums from the broadcast.
Have they been given that specific direction?
Maybe not. Yeah, maybe that's all it takes is for me to get a little initiative.
That's part of the key to management is setting expectations clearly, and that way, when both parties understand the expectations, it becomes much easier to hold them accountable to those expectations.
I think that's right. Almost as if they're in harmony with one another.
Indeed.
The director and the directee.
John Cage would not be a good manager.
No. People could do whatever they wanted. How did anything get done at Black Mountain College?
Does anything get done at Black Mountain College?
Well, not anymore. It shut down in like 1953 or
Yes.
7.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. But Einstein was on the board, I think, for a little bit.
Was he really?
Yeah, and John Cage taught there, right over there in Black Mountain, where
Is
Leaf
that where
is
it was?
now.
Oh.
Yeah, that's where Black Mountain College was. Yeah, in Black Mountain.
Well, that's neat. Learn something new every day.
So
That's why I come to the Sam Irvin 8-Note podcast.
Yeah, and you taught me something earlier too about zooming a Zoom option over on Pro Tools.
I did.
When we were getting started. Yeah,
I did.
that
So
was
we
really
can
helpful.
we can both call this day done.
No, we got to circle back though, because we were talking about when you're struck with inspiration.
Sure.
And then you mentioned initiative. So yeah, how do you take those muse juices? That's why it's called music, because you're allowing the muses to speak through your juices. What's the ick for?
The ick is in case your audience is turned off by the idea of juices being squeezed out of a person in the form of music.
There's
it gives them an out
component
that says it's okay to be grossed out by envisioning a variety of juices, whether clear or milky, colorful in consistency. It's okay to have a negative opinion of that idea. And it just brings more people into the fold. That's what I think philosophers over the millennia have talked about, music being the universal language. Whether you like it or dislike it, you can like it.
Absolutely. I think Plato said that. Whether you like it or dislike it, you can like it.
You can like it.
And it gives the spirit wings. Or is that Red Bull?
It's the same thing.
Red Bull is the music of energy drinks.
Plato invented Red Bull.
Yes. And your management style is quite musical, is what you were saying, too. So what are the parallels? When you're trying to organize some sounds into music, you're taking a snare sound. But before you can play the snare must be manufactured.
The snare must be manufactured. A person or people must take that piece of wood, metal, fiber, plant material, what have you, and fashion it into a cylindrical form of, varying depth. Hopefully it's a consistent depth on one drum, but they can make different drums of different depths.
Different snare drums are different sizes.
Different snare drums are different sizes. That's true.
Not all snare drums are. Some are the same size.
Some are the same size.
But some are different
and
sizes.
Some different ones are the same as other different ones.
Yes. Some of the snare drums that are the same sizes as some other snare drums are different sizes.
Correct.
From each other.
Yeah, so you already know plenty about this. This is more you're leading me to provide some knowledge to your audience.
Exactly. I really want this to be sort of an educational show.
Yeah. Well, so in the spirit of that, let's continue on in the manufacturing of a snare drum.
Sure.
A process that I have never witnessed nor learned anything about, but could pretty easily, I think, envision and bring through the muses of the universe the juice of manufacturing.
Absolutely.
Squeeze it out into this microphone.
We're two guys on a vodcast. I'm pretty sure that we've got a lot of authority to speak to whatever comes up.
We sure do. No matter the quantity of audience members, interested parties in our conversation, we are the ones with the power. So it's important to remember that.
We have a platform.
Yes, the platform as far as our perspective is concerned.
As far as video podcasts that have a different Asheville musician guest on each week to chat and jam.
Of all of those,
I'm pretty sure I'm at the top. We're at the top.
I would like to think so. At the moment, we are. Well, it's your podcast.
Thank you for recognizing.
Although it is a podcast now, as you mentioned in your introduction.
It is now a podcast, yes.
So every time that I've been saying that in the past can now be true because you have not said, this is the point from where this is a podcast. You could very easily gaslight your audience into believing that it's always been a podcast. And if they can't find the older episodes, that's their problem.
It certainly isn't because I haven't taken the time to upload them yet, which would involve downloading the file from YouTube and then uploading that into Premiere Pro, then exporting the audio as an MP3, and then copying the
Would you use an MP3?
Unfortunately, you do have to use an MP3 when you're uploading podcast episodes.
Wow.
That was a disappointment to learn.
Yes.
Lossy.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's a lossy
for
format.
the industry. I think we are all at a loss for that fact, that hard, cold, immovable fact.
Cruel. It's cruel. I am certainly at a loss to describe the devastation that I felt. That's a little note that my grandma made.
Oh.
These shoes come down the line, you know.
Pop brought these back after World War II to Nana.
Yeah. My great-grandfather brought those back to my great-grandmother. And when I asked my sister, like, well, but from where? They were like, Holland, duh.
Duh.
Yeah.
Home of the wooden clog, excuse me. I was beset by excitement that manifested in the form of gas.
Excitement. Okay, good. I had imagined that it was still you're being troubled over the MP3.
No, I'm way past that.
Oh, okay.
I'm over that.
I'm like, got a little trauma.
Let it go, Sam. Just...
Right. Let's talk about that for a while. Letting trauma out. Deep breaths.
Deep breaths.
Is that what people want to hear on a podcast? So snare drum manufacturing.
Snare drum manufacturing. It's an amazing industry. I can't believe there are so many snare drum manufacturers in the world, but it makes sense when you consider the snare drum being the foundation of basically all music, listenable or otherwise.
Definitely. Let's go through them. You've got Snare Drums Incorporated.
Yes, that was the first.
Mm-hmm. Then you've got Snare Drums 2.
The
Snare
offshoot.
Drums here. Yeah. They're sort of the Burger King.
Well, you had that disgruntled employee who went off and he was like, I can make a snare drum business better than this one. But he's never quite figured out what that sauce was that Snare Drum Incorporated had. I think he had a narrow perspective on the business, thought he knew more than he actually did. But, has for several centuries now maintained a solid second place in terms of market share.
Yeah, snare drums, at least the manufacturing of snare drums, is really good for your longevity.
Amazing longevity. Yeah. Those are the oldest people in the world.
That's right.
Snare drum manufacturers. They talk about the Mediterranean lifestyle. BS. It's snare drum manufacturing.
There's something about the kelp that they eat, I think.
The snare drum manufacturers?
Yeah.
Sure.
About is it kelp or seaweed?
It's the same thing, I think.
Is seaweed
kelp is a type of seaweed.
Okay. It's sort of a rectangle square situation.
Yeah, because seaweed is nothing but weeds from the sea. So there's a whole as there are varieties of weeds on the land, there are many varieties of weeds in the sea. So it would be tantamount to saying a weed, a dandelion. Are those two different things? No, a dandelion is a weed, but not all weeds are dandelions.
Right. I'm clocking that, but I want to dig in a little bit as if we were weeding a garden.
Let's do it. And
do you really think that there are as many weeds are characterized as being undesirable plants, right?
Sure. Well, I guess that also depends on your perspective. If your sole focus is, say something like erosion control, you could put a weed on a hill and it'll spread and hold that hill in place. And if aesthetics are unimportant to you for that locale, a weed is perfectly desirable.
Say perhaps that hill is facing away from your house.
Yeah.
So you don't have to see it when you look out your window.
Exactly, but you don't want your house to fall into the ravine below.
That's right. Too many houses on too many ravines.
Why are we building so many houses on ravines?
Well, I think the population is out of control,
Population is out of control. Should we turn this into a discussion on population control?
Malthusian economics?
Zero population.
I was going to just talk about all the canyons that are popping up and how...
All of these canyons, where are they even coming from? My gosh. That is out of control.
Definitely. So, yeah, only the 2 snare drum manufacturers.
That's all there are, unfortunately, but they are prolific and efficient. Prices are a little high, as with everything in this era of inflation that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
Interest rates and, quantitative easing and, money, loans, financial systems.
Money loans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard the Fed has a plan, though.
The Fed does have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
To sort of rein it in.
They're going to rain on our parade.
They're going to rein it in by raining on our parade, raining money down upon us.
Money and more money.
Yeah, just showering us with money.
I think that's what got us into this problem, though.
I think you're probably right.
That was the genesis of the issue.
To get serious for a second. Yeah, those interest rates were too low.
They were too low, and we had too much money, buying too many things. The economy got hot. We got a little too hot for our britches. Now we got to cool it off.
With the supply chain issues and everything.
Yeah.
And those impacted you whenever you were struck with inspiration. You were trying to play a note on a snare drum. You're like,
the juice. I'm like, my juice supply is running dry.
Yeah, so you call Snare Drum Incorporated because you're a smart guy. You don't go for snare drums too.
No, yeah, I mean,
snare drums.
They do a fine job, and for anybody entering music as a beginner, maybe they can't quite afford a snare drum Inc. snare. I get it. You wanna have something to begin your musical journey with.
You got to start somewhere. No shame in that. Yeah. And so it arrives. You're like a boy on Christmas morn. Mm-hmm. And finally your inspiration is, the time is nigh to express yourself. You unwrap it from probably an Amazon box.
Just picturing the smell of that fresh snare drum ink snare.
There's nothing like it.
There is nothing like it.
Let's skip past. You also have gone through a similar process and ordered each piece of the rest of the drum set.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the rest of the drum set. I was so enamored with the snare experience. Yes, there is a whole other world of drum pieces and accessories that one should acquire if you're going to play listenable music.
Mm-hmm. The tuner peg.
Tuner peg.
Is it a tuner peg?
Are you talking about the tool for tuning?
That's a guitar. Yeah, is it a tool? What's the name for that thing?
It's a tuning key, I believe. A drum key is what
the drum
called.
Key is what I was looking for.
Square socket thing.
To unlock
or lock
the intonation.
Well, not really lock in any way. Oh, you're speaking in metaphorical terms. Yes, that is the key to unlock the tuning secret.
You know what? I've completely forgotten this entire time that we could change camera angles,
Holy smokes.
I had meant to do
We've been right here and we want to be over here on this guy.
We're going to be over there in, about 2 seconds. Boom.
What would be really helpful is those red lights that they have in studio cameras, so you can look around and be like, oh, are we over here? We're over here. And you just know which camera is on you at any given time.
That would be so helpful. Maybe I'll just say, like, we're now on camera 2, and we'll know that it's this guy up
Would
top
you
there.
do that? For my benefit anyway, anytime you change the camera angle, just interrupt whatever I'm saying.
Yeah, now we're on camera 3, so it's way over there.
Where to address the audience.
Hello, camera 3. I don't think camera 3 can even really see me. I'm sort of behind all this stuff, so I'm going to go back to camera 4. We'll leave it
This is camera
where we started.
4, the most important camera you call camera 4?
Yeah, 4 is my lucky number.
Shame. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Camera 1 is the nicest camera. Let's go back to camera 1.
That's a nice camera.
Hello.
Hey.
I was excited to get that camera, but it doesn't really fit into the ring light, the super unstable tripod situation that's going on. So,
sure,
it's more of an audible camera.
Well, you got to start somewhere.
That's right. I got that one from Cameras 2 Incorporated.
Bummer. But yeah, you'll get there one day.
I will. Camera 2. Okay, so where were we? You have a whole drum set.
Got the whole drum set, and I'm starting to squeeze that. I'm filled with inspiration juice, and I got to squeeze it out. And the way that we do that is we pick up...
Camera 4.
Thank you. We pick up the sticks, the drum sticks. People have seen drummers, and they aren't just at
Camera
the drums
2.
making music happen out of nowhere. It has to be... Well, actually, there are drummers who are able to manage drumming without... it's only slightly distracting having you do that, but I still appreciate it happening, so please continue.
Okay. Yeah, I'm keeping track of what you're talking about, though. The drumsticks.
The drumsticks, that's what we're talking about. And as I was saying, there are many drummers, especially in pre-drumstick era, who managed to make music. There it goes.
Oh, no.
Well, that was its time in the spotlight.
That's right. Camera 2.
And so you can play a drum if you so choose with just your hands. I so choose... as a default to play the drums with sticks.
And sticks are not manufactured, though. They're sort of a fingernail situation that grow out of drummers. You get to harvest a drumstick.
I think you're thinking of knives, forks, and spoons.
Right, drummers do make their own eating utensils.
Eating utensils, yes. Yeah, you'd be just sitting there with your bowl of gruel and just scooping it with your fingernails, and then I don't have to mime the whole thing for you. You've seen it happen tons of times, and you guys can all look it up on YouTube if you like drummer fingernail food.
That's why it's called Camera 4. That's why it's called music.
Music, right.
You know, you mentioned philosophers right after that. There's like a psychologist or philosopher, and now I'm really blanking on the name, who like theorizes that like
Joe Rogan.
I believe it may be Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Or maybe Joseph Rogaine. It's a different, I think they're brothers.
Well, right, because Joe Rogan has no hair, and Joseph Rogaine
He's like cousin it.
all of the hair.
Yeah. Anyways, you know, this person, and you may or may not have a baby, and so I'm curious if you would agree to this, that we're all sort of birthed in our own disgust. Like at first we're very connected with our mother and we don't really have self-consciousness or awareness of ourselves. But then what we're first sort of like shocked into consciousness by is like our ick, like our musical juices.
I don't think that's right.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, well. Well, I guess that wasn't interesting to bring up. What is something interesting? The weather is beautiful today.
I'm just gonna check this.
Oh, sure. Camera 3. Let's get a really nice shot of you on that phone. Let's go to camera 1. Zach's looking at his phone, and we are looking at him looking at his phone.
Have you heard this song? This is a song I listen to more than any other song.
Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush. Brush, brushy, brush, brushy, brush, brush. Brushy, brush them up and down. Brush, brushy, brush.
This is great.
Brush, brushy, brush. Keep talking is the truth. Brush, brushy, brush. You gotta brush each and every tooth. Brush, brushy, brush. Keep in the pink and a lot of poo. Brush, brushy, brush. But don't forget the one stop down. Brush your teeth.
Oh, I thought they were talking hair.
No, everybody loves brushing their hair, but many children do not love brushing their teeth. And one strategy that we have found works for, and you were right, I do have a baby. It's not may or may not. I do.
You'll admit it.
I have a 14-month-old
Finally,
little
he
girl,
admits it.
and she's had for a couple months several teeth in her mouth, and it is recommended by the American Dental Association that you begin the process of getting your child into the habit of brushing their teeth as soon as they have teeth to brush. So we do that every night and every morning. She is not by default a fan of the process, but if we can make it fun by playing Elmo, singing this R&B banger
Brush,
about brushing your teeth, she gets excited about it for just long enough for us to get like one pass at the top teeth and one pass at the bottom teeth, and then she'll grab the toothbrush away and she'll just play with it in her mouth, doing nothing productive at all. And we'll, with the fist of Thor on his hammer, grasp that toothbrush as if her life depended on it. It's so hard to get it away from her, and then she'll scream in a tantrum when the brush is removed from her grasp.
Right, because it's not good to hold on to a toothbrush for longer than 2 minutes.
That's right.
Is that right?
You run the risk of damaging the enamel on your teeth, and in children's mouths that are still forming teeth orientation, if they're able to chew for prolonged periods of time on hard things, it can certainly mess up the direction in which the teeth, form into their mouth.
Now, this is interesting and extremely relevant to music. Teething has always been like are you okay?
I just bashed my shin
Let's get another camera angle on
lightly
this.
right on this piece under here. It was jarring. Had I been prepared for the contact that I made with that piece under there, it wouldn't have been so bad. But
Do you think I should add a little sign out there for my guests, like beware?
Maybe in the other shoe.
Yes, if they're curious enough.
World War II clogs. Watch your shins on the table.
World War II was a while ago.
That was a minute ago.
A lot of lives lost.
Coming up on, well, certainly been more than 80 years since the beginning of the war. And we're coming up on 80 years since the end of the war. In
Somewhere
a couple
in
years.
that ballpark, yeah.
A couple of years we'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's almost the height of drama of World War II to wrestle that toothbrush away from your little one.
That's it.
Is that what you would say? Comparable? Yeah. I feel like baby's teething is a really, ubiquitous idea that, even, I don't like that all of us teethe and then you give that baby something to chew on to teeth. But you're saying that that's now considered.
No, it's not necessarily
unhealthy.
a bad thing. It's a matter of what you give them to teethe on. You want soft things. There's a lot of silicone toys
like
now
a hammer.
to play with. A hammer is probably in the direction of things you don't want to provide for your infant to teethe or do anything else with.
Okay, let's go. I'm gonna throw out some things.
Do it.
That
Hit me,
could
lightning
be
round.
teethed. You tell me
Yep.
if it would be healthy or unhealthy for a baby to chew on these objects.
I am the preeminent expert on objects being good or not for teething. So.
For the sake of this is a podcast about music, so I'll use musical items.
Okay, do it.
Microphone,
Bad.
guitar pick,
Bad.
guitar,
Bad.
drum head,
Bad.
hi-hat,
Bad.
camera,
Definitely bad, also not musical.
effect. You got me. Effect pedal,
Bad.
piano key.
Bad.
Is there anything mushy in it? What about just the foam part of a microphone?
That would be an excellent teething tool. Yes.
What about
microphone foam?
the foam on a headphone?
Also good for teething and nutritious.
Definitely, these things are probably. What about cotton candy? But it's in the shape of a musical note.
Bad.
Oh, yeah, because it's too sugary.
No, because it's in the shape of a musical note.
Yeah, because whoever made that treat for you got their hands all over it.
Had to just squish it all together. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not good.
Cable.
Good, actually. Very good.
As long as it's not plugged in.
Yeah, or chewed through. You need a fresh
Yeah.
cable. Once they get down to the copper, bad.
Yeah, then you can harvest that copper.
Then you can harvest the copper. Yes, it's a 2-stage benefit to having a cable, but you need to get it right at that moment that they get through the insulation.
That's true, and you're a fan of being vigilant in your parenting.
No.
Okay, maybe
No, it's
not
exhausting.
a fan, but
That's the worst
fan
part
is
of
the wrong
parenting.
word. You feel responsible for your child.
I do. I will go to jail if I don't.
That is a reason to care about the well-being of your child. Are you starting any other habits practicing music? Do you have a similar song that's like...
I have
Now
no
we
time to
practice
practice music.
No, not you. You're
with the child.
your
Yes.
child.
Yes. We actually played piano this morning. She's quite bad
great. Yeah,
at
well,
the piano.
it takes like a whole hand to hit a key, almost.
Yeah. Well, actually, she can hit multiple keys, and it's very discordant, very Cajun to listen to.
No wonder you're coming in hot about this.
But I put up with it. I feel like we're gonna keep working at it. She'll mash a combination of keys, all close to each other, and I will do my best to form a chord structure that will best accompany that mashing of keys that she hit in the center of the range. And by the time I've done that, she is already disaffected with the sound and will bash some more keys, or she will stiffen her body to slide down off the bench onto the floor to move on to some other thing that she's interested in.
Mm-hmm. But we all got to start somewhere.
Gotta start somewhere. That's a song by John Bryan.
Oh, I'm unfamiliar with this artist. Would you recommend him? Two first names?
Just pull that up on my phone. Brian, Brion.
Oh, it's not two of the Queen members? Isn't there a John and a Brian in that band?
I don't think there's a John in that band.
There's not?
There's Brian May, guitar player.
Okay, so I got that. Queen members.
Look that up.
Looking it up, me. Freddie. There's John Deacon, the bassist.
Damn. Pardon me.
Come on. John Deacon deserves your respect.
Does he, though? I didn't even remember
Did something
he was
else
in the band.
interesting. I know. He came up in my life recently. I forget why.
John Bryan, he's kind of a musical jack of all trades. He played all of the instruments on this album.
So guitar.
Drums.
Okay.
Singing. He played the mouth notes.
Right. It's quite melodic. I see why you like it.
It's good. He obviously did some solo stuff. He produced a Fiona Apple record. He produced the album Late Registration by the one Kanye West.
Okay.
He produced soundtracks to the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind and Punch Drunk Love.
Okay.
And has done a bunch of other things.
Eternal Spotless Sunshine Mind.
Eternal Minds of the Spotless Sunshine.
What a cruel movie.
Terrible movie.
Yeah. What's I guess you got to keep trying for love, even when it's self-destructive.
Yeah, but at some point you should give up.
Yeah. If you ever find out that you've erased your own memory to rid yourself of the trauma of being with somebody, that seems like a pretty big signal.
Pretty big signal that you are a failure at love, and
you should never try to love anybody. I don't know. I'm gonna backpedal a little bit. That's not what I. That's not what
Think of the pain you'll inflict on another unsuspecting soul. No, yeah, that's a statement made in true jest, facetiousness.
You are used to inflicting pain. Like, right? How comfortable is that stool?
It's not bad. I just have to find the right balance. I told you earlier off camera that I've been working on posture, so occasionally you'll see me slouching like this or like this, and then I'll have a light bulb go off in my brain, and I'll sit up and improve my posture.
Yeah, it's real bad for me as a guitar player, classical guitarist. This is my natural space, so I'll be out like at a restaurant with friends and like be on the table. I'll fall asleep.
Should we go girdle shopping?
Maybe. I think so.
I think we ought to do that. We're ready. We're at that point.
Yes. You work at Moog Music. That's how we met each other.
That's true.
And you manage musicians.
Some of the people there that I manage are musicians.
That's correct. Some people are manufacturers of synthesizers.
They're all manufacturers of synthesizers.
Some calibrate. Does that count as manufacturing?
I believe so. That's part of the manufacturing process, is quality control and ensuring that the instrument is to engineering specifications before it heads out to our beautiful customers.
Camera 3. Sorry, I've been slacking on that.
Camera 3. We didn't talk about that.
Camera 3 is way over there. So we got 4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 1. Gotcha. So we are
Camera 1. Camera 3. Sure. Camera 4.
This guy.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
It deserves some finger guns. So, is it like herding cats sometimes? You know how hard it is to... We've all had that experience of herding cats. That's why we use that as a...
Sure.
metaphor.
As sure as music is the universal language, herding cats is the universal experience of humanity.
Oh, just getting anybody to do anything.
Yeah. No, it's not like herding cats. I work with...
We're saying herding cats. Not hurting cats.
Yeah, no, I was like, why would I hurt them unless they deserved it? Herding cats. No, it's not even like herding cats. It's Wait,
are you saying herding cats?
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to double check we're on the same page.
Yep.
Okay. Camera 3. No, that's like the worst one. Camera 1.
It's like hertzing cats.
Like when you rent a cat a car?
No, yes, but no, not like that. But yes, that spelling of the word hurts. Frequency. It's getting everybody on the same frequency, on the same pitch, on the same level, on the same
tune,
working in harmony. That is the goal at any given time.
That's true. I suppose it's not unison across the board, because then everybody would be doing the same job,
and nothing would get completed.
Right. Yeah.
It's harmony. It's making sure a person's skill sets and interests align as best as possible with what they're doing in the service of making them money and making synthesizers for the world, so that we can perpetuate our brand and just continue being awesome in general.
Yeah, part of the brand is awesomeness and high qualityness.
High qualityness, boutiquiness.
Yeah, boutiquiness. That's why you guys have the acronym.
Yes. Be always boutique. Bab.
Be always boutiquing. That sort of leaves out the high qualityness.
I think it's implied in the boutique.
Awesomeness. I suppose you're right. Boutiques are awesome.
Boutiques are awesome and high quality.
Boutique hotels, always the right choice.
Yes, boutique snare drum brands.
Totally. Like a little popcorn snare drum. I just learned that term on the show recently.
Oh, yeah, the little 8-inch or 10-inch thingies.
Those are so cool, I think. Yeah. You ever feel like you're hurting the drums?
Are you saying herding or hurting?
Like herding them together.
Yeah, that's the goal, is to have them confined in a space where you can then lash them with sticks.
You don't want one of the drums scrambling off. Sometimes the hi-hat sort of...
It likes to sneak away. It's all like... It's like a little toddler who's like... You're like, don't touch that electrical wire. Don't touch it. And they're like... And you're like, no, don't do it. And then they're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then they electrocute themselves invariably.
Hi-hats do have a habit of electrocuting themselves.
You just can't teach a hi-hat electronic principles, high voltage, dangers. They have to learn for themselves.
But you want that in the mix sometimes. If that's the sound that you're going for, the color. Yeah. Keeping the beat.
Sometimes it's like and other times it's like
Exactly. Yeah.
Harmony.
Really brings the band together. Did you look at what time it was when we started this?
I would have to say 4:30 in the afternoon.
4:30. I don't think we're there yet. Oh, but I can look here. Okay, we still... Thank God we still have some time, because we haven't really gotten to the bottom of your creative process. When you're struck with inspiration, you call up the snare drum manufacturer. You might encourage them to manage their employees in a certain way that optimize the quality of...
Every time I do that, though, they're like, you don't know us. We got this. Who are you to tell us what to do? We don't ever want to take your business ever again. Talking to you is torture. So it's hard to do business with a snare drum manufacturer like that. I don't know any other way to do it. This is how I was taught.
How do you let go of that sort of trauma of the rejection?
I don't think you ever do. Lots of deep breaths. Correct your posture.
It's important.
Look at camera 2. Look at camera 3.
Is what we're on. Now we're on camera 3. Now we are on camera 4. I'm going to go ahead and switch us back to camera 1 as well. Hey.
And that's really the entirety of making music. That's how you get to the bottom of your bowl of juice, scoop it out, squeeze it through the mesh that is your musical performance. and let it.
Wait, what's how you do it? I feel like you skipped the part about that you just said, and that's how you do it.
That's how you do it. Deep breaths.
Oh, right. Okay.
Good posture.
I thought you were referring to calling.
It's
the
all part of the
manufacturer.
process.
That's true. Yeah.
We've spent so much time talking about the manufacturer. Obviously, that is the
That's
bulk
most
of the process.
it, the gear that you've got. Yeah.
And then, whatever juice you have left, you scoop out of the bottom of that bowl, squeeze it through the strainer that is your endeavor of musical performance upon the audience.
Your Scooby.
Whether they're into it or not, muse or ick. And then everybody just has to go home and take a shower.
Yeah. You should shower after music.
Always.
Public service announcement. I think not enough people do that. I think it's really wrecking havoc, in this world. I think if there's anything we can do to make this world better and sort of cut down on all the canyons that are popping up, it's for people to shower after they music.
I can't think of a better statement than the one that you just made. In service to the world, all of the geopolitical strife we're experiencing, the preponderance of canyons in Ukraine and
canyons in
Yemen,
Russia.
Canyons in Russia. They are just icking. It's far too much ick in the balance of muse and ick. It's sad to see, really.
Yes.
Yeah. Hopefully Jerome Powell will do something about it.
I think all that rain will help. Or will that make the canyons bigger?
I think that's maybe Jerome Powell is not seeing fully the direction that the rain of water and money and ick is going to wreak in terms of havoc upon the depths of our canyons.
Is it wreck havoc or wreak havoc?
I've heard wreak, even though it is spelled... Well, how is it spelled? Is there an A in there?
I believe it's W-R-E-A-K, havoc.
E-A-K. That's why.
Wreak havoc.
If it was... Yep, there you go. I think it's wreak.
To cause chaos or destruction, or both.
Can you see the
Do you want me to
phonetic?
zoom in?
Well, I'm looking for the phonetic
Zoom in farther.
pronunciation there.
I wish I had a camera angle on this. There is not... Let's see. Words that... First recorded 1925 to 1930. I would have thought that was an older word than that.
Wreak
havoc.
Havoc. Huh.
Show IPA.
I love an IPA.
I'm not going to drink right now. Sort of in the middle of work, It's sort of my job.
To each their own.
It's my job now. This is... We're making music of conversation.
It's very harmonious. There hasn't been a period of time in this conversation where either of us stopped talking, looked at our phones, had to take deep breaths.
I think there's a certain ebb and flow.
We're flowing, we're ebbing, we're bebbing, we're offling.
We're no blah blah doo blah.
Scoopy deep doop. Papa chits.
Oh, that hi-hat got away from me there. I think.
Has to.
A little
from
bit.
time to that's how it learns.
That's true. So let's talk about something else.
Entirely. Multivitamins. What's your take?
I think they're a waste.
Do you?
I don't.
Do you
there's
get
no
enough
evidence that you absorb any nutrients from multivitamins?
That can't be true.
As far as I will Google it.
Let's Google that.
Any evidence?
So you believe that your diet
vitamin.
of natural food is sufficient for all of your dietary needs to sustain your life?
Yeah, I mean, I make a lot of smoothies and eat a lot of stir fries, so I try to pack in like a ton of ingredients into my diet.
That's good. And you, yes, you are a smoothie connoisseur. You're a big stir fry fanatic. So that's good for you.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. It is good. It's both good in terms of yumminess. Usually, I just got a new wok, and about every other time, my stir fry is soggy. or it's delightfully crunchy and sort of fried. In
What
the
would
right
make
way.
it soggy? Just too much of the juice squeezed out into it.
Yeah, right. If you're washing the vegetables and you don't dry them quick enough, or you really want it on high heat, so if you put the veggies in there too quickly, they'll cool the pan down, so you have to have all of your veggies chopped and ready to go just in case you need to throw them in there faster. But then be incredibly vigilant, sort of like you would with a child. I'm not saying you would cook a child, but I'm saying you would want
it's
to
the
pay
same
attention.
thing.
It's the same thing. When you're cooking, you have a responsibility to pay attention, or you could burn down the neighborhood and the cops could get you.
Cops would get you, whether you starve your child or have soggy vegetables in your wok.
That's right. I mean,
Not soggy enough vegetables to quell the fire.
Right. I think you're following me.
Don't know if I know what you're talking about.
You seem to come in to get. Seems like you are passionate about multivitamins. Whenever I naysay them there,
yeah, I know there are a
you're
lot
like,
of hot
you came in
opinions
hot.
about multivitamins.
There is no clear evidence of health benefit.
From Harvard University, what do they know?
The optimists say that despite no clear evidence, supplementation is low risk and low cost.
And it helps to fill potential gaps in the ... I would assume they're saying dietary compendium.
That's probably it.
So
good word.
you are a person who has the forethought and has the time and the tools and the know-how to fashion smoothies to create soggy or overly dry, flammable wok stir fries. Not everybody has that benefit in their life. And so I would say for those people, but perhaps not for you, but for those people, multivitamin can be an economical alternative in order to make sure that they're getting those healthy balance of nutrients that they need.
I agree with you. And despite there being no clear evidence of any health benefit, who am I
So
to
says
naysay?
Harvard University.
I don't want to, I need to hashtag examine my privilege. And I don't
Thank
want
you.
to naysay.
It's 2023 after all.
You're right. I'm not trying to say anybody else shouldn't take multivitamins. And I think you can get super expensive multivitamins that like dissolve in a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
That might, but that's also privileged.
That is super privileged. Yeah.
I can't approach those myself.
That's not me. Yep.
What do you think your biggest deficiency is?
Deficiency? Mm-hmm. Dietarily?
Yeah, or we could expand.
Dietarily, probably shrimp.
You're not eating a lot of shrimp these
Not
days?
eating enough shrimp.
There's never enough shrimp, buddy.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Everybody is deficient in shrimp because you can never get enough.
Yeah, I was, randomly on my YouTube recommendations, like 10 hours of shrimp. Shrimp. It was like a shrimp. It was like shenanigans, but with starting with shrimp.
Shrimp-nanigans?
Shrimp-nanigans. Just video of like shrimp
For 10
hanging
hours?
for 10 hours on YouTube. You can find it.
Were the shrimp involved in...
I didn't click it.
Oh.
But it's out there. I mean, we can check it out, yeah. While we're here, but you got to fill up the dead air in the meantime. So will you talk about... So shrimp is a great source of some minerals.
Minerals? Yep. Protein as well. Healthy fats to a degree. Flavor town. Shrimp have those little feet. They've got spines. They've got shells. They've got really cute eyes when animated in the Pixar fashion. They've got beady little eyes in real life, which makes me feel all the better about eating them.
Sea bugs.
Sea bugs. They have no redeeming qualities as living creatures. So,
But I don't know. So the title of this video is 2 hours of chill shrimp to work, study, relax, lo-fi hip-hop, Monterey
God.
Bay Aquarium, Krill Waves Radio.
krill waves. Ayy.
very shrimpy.
You can put chill lo-fi hip-hop over just about any natural visual, and it works.
It does work, and they are cute, but I would still eat it.
Oh, yeah. 10 times out of 10.
And the word was shrimplicity.
Shrimplicity. That's not as good.
As shrimp
I like
nanigans?
shrimp nanigans.
I don't know. I don't know about any of this, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, this has all been speculation, this entire conversation. I don't even know if there are 2 snare drum manufacturers. There might just be the one.
Yeah, but I like the story of the competitor. You know, you gotta sort of amplify, you know?
Because of music and
It's
sound.
sort of musical, yeah.
Whoa, dude, you just came out of nowhere with that.
I know, it was pretty good. It would have been good if, I think, I might have been using the word escalate is what I was looking for. Or what's the word when you're telling a story and you make it sort of like more intense or dramatic?
Exacerbate?
I don't think, is that what I'm doing to you right now? Camera 3?
Extravagate?
Extravagate. That's it.
That was the word.
We set out to make an educational podcast. I think we did that. We are dinoBirds together. We should go out in public and do an improv hour
Of conversation?
of conversation and then an improv hour of music.
Isn't that what this is? But this is in public.
This will be public in a way. You know, I started this program about a year ago and COVID was still a thing. And I'm very excited. Huh?
I said, don't mind me.
Oh, okay. I wasn't. I was going to. I mean, it's really coming through the mics, but I think it's okay. I'm going to camera 1. Camera 3 is the worst camera. If only I could get it a little higher, or this stuff a little lower. What I was saying?
Going out
What
in
I was
public.
saying? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Taking it to the streets.
There are plenty of venues in Asheville. We're in Asheville, North Carolina right now.
We are. That's
Yes.
true.
And you have lived here.
I have lived here.
And you
I
do continue
to
to
live
live in the Asheville
In the
metropolitan
Asheville metro area.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
You're about 3 hours out?
3 hours plus a 4-hour train ride.
Yes, right. It's weird how it gets snowy there.
It's the canyons, man.
Yeah,
They're everywhere.
damn canyons. When's the last time you went out to a venue and saw a show?
Too long. It's been too long since I went to a venue and saw a show. Oh my gosh, has it been? It's been about 7 months, I think. I went to. Has it really? Wow. Yeah, I think so. I went and saw Jack White at Rabbit Rabbit.
Nice.
That was an awesome show.
Did that sound great?
It did. It did. It sounded great, with the exception of the very first thing he was trying to play, which I can't remember the song. The opening song of his set. He gets out there, the band gets going. He walks out. The crowd goes wild. He's got his short blue hair. They're like, "There's Jack! It's awesome! Here he goes!" He like throws his guitar over his thing. Grabs his pick and looks at the band, and then goes to strum that first note. Nothing happens.
Typical guitarist move.
Typical guitarist move. And what's the next move right there? Then the guitar player's like, he looks at the band. He's like, I don't know what's I don't. Maybe the pedals. I'll check the pedals. And then he gets down on the floor, and the band is like, we're gonna keep vamping for another 4 minutes here. The drummer's like, all right, let me throw a little extra fill in here, and the bass player's like, because he doesn't usually go up that high, but he's gotta fill the air.
Bass.
Gotta fill the air. Jack White did none of that stuff. Consummate professional. He went to hit that note, nothing happened. Immediately took the guitar off, handed it to a dude, and then went over to his piano. There you go, stagehand. It was just a hand coming out of the stage.
The action was the action's called a stagehand.
The stagehand, he stagehanded it.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
To the
I'm
big
sorry, I don't
stage.
know all these words.
And then there was like a big hand, like sort of like the hand chairs.
That's what it was. See, I mean, you know all this stuff because you are a musician.
I didn't know about the second part, like a stage hand like that. That's just one big stage hand. I was picturing like a guy in all black, sort of like a puppeteer would wear.
I've never seen that before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know what those people are called.
I don't even know if that is a thing, a figment of your imagination,
Going
perhaps.
to camera 1.
But yeah, he tried to hit that note, nothing happened, and as if it was completely choreographed, took off the guitar. You know what? Maybe it was choreographed. Now that I'm thinking
was
about
everything
it,
sort of like
it was just all
perfectly
a
in
ruse
time
to make it look like, he is the consummate improvisationalist. But yeah, he took the guitar off, handed it to the hand coming out of the stage, went around to his piano and just played that song on the piano as if that was the intention the whole time. And maybe it was the intention the whole time.
Wow, for real. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
And
piano.
Everybody in the audience was
turn.
like, wow, what a consummate professional he is to be able to just in the moment go and play the same song on a different instrument.
It only took you 7 months to figure it out.
Yeah, wow. What a jerk.
Jack White, thumbs down from Asheville 8 Note. The dinoBirds duo say, we will no longer be influenced by Jack White.
For the rest of this conversation.
Yeah, because I am going to use some electric guitar later.
You are, and I do remember you saying that Jack White is your sole inspiration for playing the electric guitar.
Yeah, I pretty much only ever learned Seven Nation Army, and then I was like, got it. Like, I know what to do with guitar now. Yeah, like every 12-year-old student that I have.
Should we play some music?
I think we should play some music. And before
this is a sparkling conversation.
I've really enjoyed our time here together.
For the benefit of our audience, who I can't imagine is getting tired of this banter. I can't remember anything inane coming through in this conversation. But,
I mean, we've been we've been really helping out the world, right? Doing the world a service, doing the good work.
Talking about benefits of multivitamins, how to fill canyons, solve the Ukraine and the Yemen
What was the way to fill canyons? More brushing your teeth?
With Jerome Powell's money rain.
No, I think that was going to make them worse.
That was going to... I'm so sorry. It's so hard to keep all these global...
There was something that was going to help with the canyons, but...
Brushing
it's
your teeth
recorded.
For sure is helpful. Not teething with musical devices unless it's foam from microphones or foam from the other thing that has foam.
Headphones, foam. But that was unhealthy for...
No, this was nutritious.
Was that nutritious? Mm-hmm. Okay. But cables
only good until the copper.
Yes, and then you got to stash that copper away.
Yep.
For the upcoming economic collapse.
Indeed.
You know, there's...
Can't wait.
Yeah. It's like the 4th once-in-a-lifetime economic collapse. But this jam is not going to be an economic collapse. It's going to be a boon. This is going to set us... Are
we going to Boone?
We're going to go to Boone. First, we have to craft like a whole set, like Nathan Fielder's rehearsal. We're going to create like my entire basement in the studio. We already did that off camera. Yeah. I shouldn't even be telling you about it. We were supposed to like transport you there blindfolded and like sort of...
I knocked myself out.
Okay, great. But let's do it with music here in a moment. So we will jam... until Zach knocks himself out. This is Asheville 8 (PM) into parentheses note, the weekly broadcast from Irvin Music Studio. I'm Sam Irvin. This is Zack Downes. We are dinoBirds, and we're gonna play some music after a brief break.
Oh.
Thanks for tuning in. Check out YouTube, subscribe. Maybe the Irvin Music Studio Patreon is up. This is a podcast, so if you want to listen to it that way, you're probably already made it this far, however you're listening to it, whether you're listening to the podcast or watching the video. You could switch for the next time you listen to one of my episodes. I think this is episode 60, something like that. You know what? I think Zach had the right idea. I'm going to leave too. Okay.
ones where we're like, yeah, it's okay, and then you listen back and it's like, oh, there's some good stuff in there. There was some crap, but there was some good stuff too.